Father, forgive me. Father, forgive them for what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. For a week and a half, that verse has haunted me. And I don't usually get haunted by Bible verses, may I admit. But for a week and a half, I'm brushing my teeth. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Or I'm taking the dogs out. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And the question I've asked myself is, how was it possible that Jesus could inhabit such a mindset that while being faced with crucifixion, and imagine you're up here, nailed to the cross and suffocating, how was it possible that in the face of his persecutors and murderers, he could say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I don't know about you, but I would be saying a lot of things and they are not repeatable at Unity. And actually, I would imagine that everybody here would be. Most everybody. And if you think you wouldn't, I would ask you to think again. Your nose is growing right now. How is that possible? What are we called to do right now? What are we being called to do right now? Who are you holding judgment against? Who are you holding lack of forgiveness against? Because guess what? Lack of forgiveness is judgment. And the opposite of judgment is what? Forgiveness. But most of us are over here. Let's be real. We're over here. Who are you holding a grudge against? Who are you judging? You've decided for whatever reason they didn't do it your way. And your way was the better way. You're the one who's right. One of the 5 drivers of human behavior, being right, gets us into trouble every time, doesn't it? So I had a situation recently, and I like to make it really real and concrete here, because we're in Unity, we're all about applying the principles, right? We're not about reciting the Nicene Creed. My Presbyterian minister from growing up is going to be like, what? We're not about just reciting these creeds without really understanding what they are. We're about inhabiting the Christ consciousness, which means inhabiting that consciousness that could be up here and say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That means inhabiting that consciousness, not the consciousness of judgment. I'm right, you're very wrong. So I have a property that I worked very hard to purchase in Durham, North Carolina. And it's a property I wanted for my daughter to live in eventually, and she may, we'll see. And I have been Airbnb-ing it out, you all. And I had a lovely single mom there. I'm a single mom, so I have a partiality to single moms. You know, like the single mom heartstrings. I've got them. And when it was her checkout day, or when she didn't pay, rather, she decided she was not leaving. Now, actually, she decided this a lot earlier. Evidently, she'd done this a number of times before. She found the loophole. She found the loophole. And Airbnb being Airbnb, let me just say, I'm not going to tell you the whole saga, but there were police involved. She didn't leave. There were phone calls, so many phone calls that I had to make, et cetera, that took me away from my real work, which is Reiki, business coaching, love. And I was super resentful. It actually financially cost me about $10,000. Over $2,000 to hire an attorney who I think felt sorry for me, so he gave me a discount. Because he saw me in my knee brace at that time. I had a good attitude about it, you know? But I can tell you there were moments that I did not. And Azadeh has heard me have those moments. Some others of you, like Mel, have heard me have those moments. Where it's like, why did this happen to me? What did I do? Why am I being punished? You ever said that when something happens and you don't know how to deal with it? Why am I being punished? And in the middle of all this, it was like, why is she doing this? I'm a single mom too. I can't take care of her utilities and everything for 3 months, which I did, by the way. So let me tell you that the moment that things changed was a real gift. When I went in to clean up, and it was flea infested, and there were silverfish and cockroaches everywhere, and all the carpet had to be replaced, and there were cat scratches all up and down the railings, and there was all this other stuff that had been done, and it was so expensive to clean. It was $595 just to clean the place. That's how dirty it was. 1,000 square feet, that's pretty dirty. Would you agree? So in the middle of all that, I'm doing most of the work myself, and thank you for my friend Azadeh who came and helped me for a couple of hours with some stuff I couldn't do alone. Doing most of the work myself, and I'm thinking, and I'm seething, literally seething. You can see the smoke coming out, right? I'm seething. And I go upstairs, and I'm in the second bedroom. I open the closet. And there's a bright metallic pink vest, poofy vest, which her 17-year-old wore. And that was the moment that it changed for me. I have a 17-year-old. Okay, I helped a 17-year-old have security for 6 months. Y'all get the energy of that? Yeah. And as soon as I feel that, it's freeing. And the other piece is that to move out of judgment, which, by the way, is what Dr. Carol Dweck, however you pronounce it, she's a Stanford renowned psychologist. She's written this great book called Mindset. She talks about fixed mindset. And guess what? What is judgment? Fixed mindset. Judgment is closed. I'm right, you're wrong. End of story. My way or the highway, right? It's constricted. When I was seething, guess where my energy was? I want everybody to do this. Yeah, just do your face like that. That's great, Sue-Ann. It's really ugly too, right? And now I want you to release, right? Let your hands go and let your hips move a little, you know? Do some crazy eights with your hips. It's really good for healing, by the way. Yeah. So much better. Feels so much better. Judgment is fixed mindset, whereas over here, forgiveness is open. It's expansive. It's growth mindset. It's not stagnant. It can move. It can change. Oh, well, let me consider, where is this person coming from that this is how they behave? What has happened in their life or their experience that this is their reality? And guess what the bridge is from judgment over Here? Forgiveness, the bridge is curiosity. Think about it. So here's a tool. Now, by the way, you all, you may say, well, why are we talking about this? Well, you might have figured out the title of today is The Biggest Block to Your Abundance is this. This is lack of forgiveness. Because how are you going to be blessed or even accept any of the blessings like this? It's like spiritual constipation. So, curiosity carries us from judgment, fixed mindset, or judgment, I put it here before, right? Judgment, fixed mindset, over to forgiveness, growth mindset. And curiosity can look like this. Mel Robbins, I enjoy her. She says 5 words. What? Or 6 words? 6 words. What if it all works out? Say that with me. What if it all works out? Say it with me. What if it all works out? So what if we approached these situations and we said, what if it all works out? Instead of judging, catastrophizing, having spiritual constipation and feeling like, spiritual crap. Yes, pun intended. How about you all on YouTube, how about if we lived over here in growth mindset? What if we chose to have curiosity? What if it all works out? Wonder where that person's coming from. That's so interesting. Let's practice that one. That's so interesting. Now, you cannot say it the way we say in the South. That's so interesting. No. Intonation is everything. Let's say it the good way. Are you ready? That's so interesting. So what if we come from there? What would happen if we come from there? When we want to be right about something, we want to be the one who establishes a judgment that everybody has to abide by. Sounds very Pontius Pilate, doesn't it? What if we were that? So you all, when we're not forgiving, guess what? We're keeping away our abundance. I'm going to do an obnoxious thing, maybe. It's all right. I'm going to read from my own book, one of my own books, all right? And the reason is because I worked very hard on this particular chapter, and it's called Jesus Got It Right About That, all right? And I'm just going to read you a little bit, all right? A little bit of this. And this is the connection. And by the way, it's a whole book package, y'all. Get out of that and get on with your life, all right? This is the big book, and there's another book, and then there's an audio. And I will have a few outside, and I will give 10% to our youth program, FYI, because I believe in our youth program. So if you want to read more, you want more Barnsley, just see me outside. All right, here we go. Most of us hold grudges, another antonym for forgiveness, that block the flow of our own prosperity. We subject others and ourselves to harsh judgments, and we keep track painstakingly of all the ills they have done to us. What a waste of energy. That's all capitals. How on earth can you expect to let love, wealth, health, and goodness flow in your life if you are spending your time mulling over everything everyone ever did to hurt you or make your life difficult? How can you expect to be happy and prosperous when your energy is consumed by unforgiving thoughts and feelings towards yourself and others? If you want to be prosperous, really prosperous, and that's in the true meaning of the word wealth, by the way, you all. The word wealth comes from wheel, W-E-A-L. I'm going to show my PhD for a second. And that means, guess what? Well-being. Old English for well-being. Think about it, well-being. We're the ones who decided it was about money. Money's just something we circulate, just a form of energy. That's all it is. If you want to be prosperous, really prosperous, you've got a lot of work to do to let go of feeling like a victim. You've got to stop blaming other people. your higher power, global warming, whatever or whoever you'd like to believe has made your life less than desirable today. And as a side point, have you ever noticed we have no problem taking credit for what goes well in our lives? Yeah, we have no problem with that. But when somebody else acts a certain way, well, yeah, we're all over it. You cannot be, stop being a victim, stop it now. You are a victor. You are a benefactor. Someone who spreads goodwill wherever they go, hence the root word bene, which means good. Right, David? Good. You cannot be unforgiving and opulent. You cannot be weighed down with 100 extra pounds of unforgiveness and be a fitness trainer. Makes sense, right? So guess what we're going to do now, y'all? Actually, go ahead and do this with me. When I teach Reiki, I love to have people do this because it gets energy going. And plus, you get a dopamine hit when you're silly, right? Come on, Courtney. She's been in my classes. She's like, oh, God. Here she goes. All right, good job. Sue Ann's got the faces today. Improv theater time. All right, so that gets energy going. You have a blank piece of paper in your bulletin sheet. Pull it out. And guess what? I already did mine. Because I am not immune. I want you to understand. My names came quickly. I want you to write down 3 people who you are holding grudges and lack of forgiveness towards. All right? And yes, you can put a group, all who voted for X candidate. That's okay. You can do that. You can absolutely do it. Guess who I have on here? I've got more work to do. I have the squatter on here. And I have a family member who made a kind of not so smart decision recently, in my view. All right? So I want you to write your 3 down on your piece of paper. This only works if you work it. 3 people you need to forgive. Yeah, 3 people you need to forgive. Jean, is that right? John. Yeah, 3 people, and it can be a group, like the people who voted for X. You fill in X. I didn't say who. Just I'm leaving it up to you. It's up to y'all. All right, when you get them done, do the little teacher trick. You know the teacher trick when you're in school. You just look up. It's like, I'm done. Hurry up. Yeah. Ready? Just 3. Now, it is also possible to put yourself on that. And if you didn't, I would highly encourage you to come back and do this process. We're only going to do 3 people today, though, because we're not here for a whole afternoon. All right, so here's where the energy stuff comes in. And I do a deeper version of this in my Reiki Level 2 classes, which leaves everybody in tears. This will be the shortened version, okay? This will be the real version from YouTube, the shorts from YouTube or Facebook. Hold it in your hands, all right? Hold it right here in your hands. And I'm going to use a prayer that is from Dr. Catherine Ponder, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, one of my favorite books on prosperity. And by the way, there's a huge bibliography in my books of all the books I love on prosperity if you're a reader, if you're a nerd like me. I'm a complete nerd. I love to read. So hold this right here. And I'd like you to close your eyes for a second. And I'd like you in your mind, or you can whisper it. Actually, I think whispering is good. Let's whisper. All right? And you're going to say, I forgive you, and you take the first person on your list, okay, together.
I forgive you.
And their name. For any harm, real or imagined, you may have caused me. Take a deep breath in. Release. Let's Go to the next one. I, and use your name this time, I, Barnsley, forgive you in their name. I'm whispering that. For any harm, real or imagined, you may have caused me. Deep breath in. Release with a sigh. Now to the third person. And that might be your biggest person because guess what? Usually the biggest person comes last. So here you go. I in your name. I now forgive you in their name for any harm, real or imagined, you may have caused me. And I want you to imagine a circle of light around all of you. Yes, deep breath in. Release with a sigh. Imagine a circle of light around all these people and around you. And you're going to say, I, and your name, I, Barnsley, am now free. And you, and you're going to use their names, all three, are now free. And all is well. All right? Yeah, deep breath in. Release. One more. We're almost done. We're going to hold this, and now here's the fun part. We get to ask for forgiveness. Why? You tell me why. Why do we get to ask for forgiveness from these people? Because we've judged them. We've fixed them in a place so that we could feel elevated, better than, right. All right, so close your eyes. And we'll take the first person. I in your name. Now ask you, and use their name, to forgive me on all levels for any harm, real or imagined, I may have caused you. Deep breath in. Release. Good to release with a sigh. Let that energy out. Let it go. Let it go. Feels good. Second person, I and your name, I, Barnsley, now ask you in their name to forgive me on all levels for any harm, real or imagined, I may have caused you. Deep breath in. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm sweating up here, and it's not postmenopause. It's the energy of this. All right, one more. Last one. The big one. Ready? Ready? I, in your name, Barnsley, now ask you, in their name, to forgive me on all levels for any harm, real or imagined, I may have caused you. Deep breath in. And again, see it all in light, and together, I in your name am now free. And all three of you, all of you, are now free. And all is well. So you may want to take this later and grab your grandmother's cast iron frying pan, or if you have a fire pit, that's great too, or maybe even a stainless steel bowl you don't care about so much, and put it in there and burn it. Then you have your choice of throwing it into the toilet and flushing it, which is very therapeutic, because we're getting rid of the crap. Or you have the choice of going out in nature and just scattering it, woo, like you would some ashes, woo, or somewhere else. But I do not recommend that you keep this in your house. And see, the whole point is we're letting go, right? We're letting go. And you can repeat it. It's like shampoo. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. In the Bible, Jesus said, how many times do we need to forgive? 70 times 7. Now, I don't know if y'all have done your math tables, but that's 490 times. That means we have how many left? 489. So the likelihood of it, every bit of it, being gone right now is small. It's small. But you began the work with courage. The word courage comes from heart. Coraggio. My PhD is really coming out. Can y'all tell I studied literature? Yeah. Can you tell? Coraggio. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Isn't it about time that we take ourselves down from the cross of lack of forgiveness? So that we can experience a resurrection of our Christ consciousnesses, of our souls. Thank you.
Hi. If this video has inspired you, opened your heart, expanded your consciousness, filled you with hope, empowered you in some way, we encourage you to support what we offer here at Unity Center of Peace by making your donation now. And thank you.